A little travel trivia today. Name a country that's famous for outdoor adventure, such as zip lining, hiking, river rafting, surfing, diving, and kayaking. They also have wildlife, beaches, a rainforest, even a cloud forest. Biodiversity, natural beauty, volcanoes, coffee. Yes, they're known for their coffee. And oh, wait, they're in the blue zone. Stay tuned. You're about to discover Costa Rica.
Welcome to Travel Tuesday with Teresa, the ultimate source of wanderlust inspiration. Join the journey led by your host, Teresa Belcher.
Welcome back. My guest today is Charisse Ketia from the Costa Rica Tourist Board. Welcome, Charisse.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You're welcome. So you're going to present all the wonderful things that Costa Rica has to offer. And in the intro, I introduced a lot of things. So we've got a lot of ground to cover. So it's over to you.
All right. So, pura vida, everybody. I'm very excited to share this beautiful destination that is Costa Rica and give you a bit of energía pura vida. And pura vida simply just means pure life in literal translation. And it's more colloquial as like a right on, that's right, or, keep it going in Costa Rica. So, if you hear pura vida, it just means right on. As Teresa mentioned, my name is Teresa Incatia. I am the North American Travel Trade Destination Specialist for the Costa Rica Tourism Board, and I'm so excited to dive into the destination. We'll be talking about getting to know Costa Rica, reasons why to visit Costa Rica. We're going to explore the landscape of Costa Rica with locations and experiences. And of course, we're going to talk about expanded encounters in Costa Rica and why it is such an amazing place to visit. So let's talk about getting to know Costa Rica a bit. The question that's always asked is, when is the best time to visit Costa Rica? And it is a year-round destination. The weather works inversely. So when it's raining on one side, it is going to be clear on the other side, and of course, vice versa. In addition to that, during what we call the green season or the rainy season, it's a perfect time to experience the wildlife in the destination. The wildlife is more active during the green season. You'll see a lot more animals, you'll see a lot more fauna popping up, and it's really just a beautiful experience to have in nature and in the rainforest of Costa Rica. One of the favorite things we like to mention about Costa Rica is that it has a blue zone in the Nicoya Peninsula. And for those who are not familiar with what a blue zone is, it is a really beautiful area in which the life expectancy has increased, or people tend to live a bit longer. So in Costa Rica, our life expectancy has increased from about 78 years up until the early to mid 80s. And it's simply based off of the lifestyle of the people, from their active lifestyle to what they're eating. Costa Rica is a perfect place for wellness and rejuvenation. Another fun fact about the destination is that Costa Rica does not have a military. And so all of the funds that would go to a military is actually reverted back into the livelihood of the people. So that would go into sustainability practices as well as the lives of the people to improve the quality of life there. And of course, our wildlife preservation. We haven't had a military since 1948, and essentially we just didn't need one. Another fun fact about Costa Rica is that we have several UNESCO sites, and one that we like to point out the most is our intangible cultural site. So if you see any of these ox carts in Costa Rica, that is one of our intangible cultural heritage UNESCO sites. Although they are not often used in current times, they are a beautiful representation of the tradition and culture that is in Costa Rica. And of course, as you can see, they're beautifully painted and crafted. Costa Rica is well known for their education. So in the education in Costa Rica is one of the best in Central America. And our first president was actually an educator as well. So when it comes to education, Costa Rica is very big on all the locals and residents having top-notch education. So let's get into reasons why to visit the destination. Sustainability is going to be number one with Costa Rica. It's not just recycling bottles, but it's actually ensuring that not just the wildlife is having an improved quality of life, but the people in the destination too. So a lot of the initiatives in Costa Rica about sustainability is focused on the people of Costa Rica because we want to make sure that the people are protected as much as the wildlife, or like who I like to call the other residents in Costa Rica. And as I mentioned before, sustainability is a way of life. It is our lifestyle. It's not something that we had to think about. It just came naturally in the destination. So when it comes to biodiversity, marine life, protected natural landscapes, there's so many protected lands in the destination, as well as the national parks that visitors can experience the beauty and the greenness of Costa Rica. I often like to say, if you don't like green, it's going to be hard to visit Costa Rica because it's green everywhere you go. Safety. So, as I mentioned before, we don't have a military in the destination, but Costa Rica is a very safe destination. Um, when it comes to if you're lost, if people like to self-drive and you might get lost, the locals are very helpful and quick to assist in showing you where to go or where you are. And so it's a very safe destination and it's a very free and welcoming destination as well. As I mentioned before, it's energía pura vida. So it's all about the pure life energy and really connecting visitors with the community as well. Adventure. So it's nonstop adventure in Costa Rica, whether you are whitewater rafting, zip lining through the cloud forest, whatever you are doing and finding yourself doing in Costa Rica, it's always an adventure and there's always an adventure to be had. And you can, of course, visit with families or even by yourself or with your friends, whoever you want to bring. You can definitely come to Costa Rica and have one of the best adventures. Wellness. So, wellness is actually a very big part of Costa Rica's um, travel experiences, from our hot springs to even breaking down the spa walls, if you will, and incorporating the nature into the wellness experience. Costa Rica is very proud in being such a relaxing destination. As you can see here, you can have massages outside. We also are very big on our coffee as well, and we incorporate some of the coffee beans and grounds into the wellness experience. So that also plays into the sustainability factor in the destination. Culinary. So for all of the foodies, you can always find something great to eat in the destination, whether you are experiencing the South Caribbean Caribbean influences with the culinary scene, or if you're tasting gallo pinto for the first time. And gallo pinto is just a breakfast meal that has rice and beans, and so it's a great, delicious, hearty meal, and it gets you ready for all the adventure you're about to take into. And of course, a majority of the restaurants in Costa Rica does cater to any dietary restrictions. So you can always find something to eat and get a taste of Costa Rica as you are enjoying. The main airports in Costa Rica are going to be the San Jose Airport, which is going to be located in the Central Valley, as well as Liberia. And Liberia is going to be located in the La Fortuna area in Guanacaste, and that's going to be in the kind of northwest area of Costa Rica, and these are going to be your two major airports. There are, in addition, domestic flights that are available. So for those who want to travel via air, you can definitely do so in the various domestic airports that we have in the destination. And of course, almost all airlines fly into Costa Rica. So whether you have a preferred airline or want to just do a quick getaway to Costa Rica, you can definitely come on over with the various airlines that are available. As I mentioned before, we do have domestic flights in the destination, but we also have private transfers, self-driving opportunities, as well as public transportation for those who want to immerse themselves deeper into Costa Rica. No matter where you want to go to, there's always a way to get there, as I like to say, and experience the beauty that is Costa Rica throughout the destination. Here with our maps, as I mentioned before, we have the San Jose area, and that's going to be near where the main airport is. And then up at the top in the yellow area in Guanacaste, you're going to see the Liberia airport as well. And as you can see, Costa Rica, although it may not be big, there's so much ground to cover and to experience in the destination. So we're going to move on to the Caribbean area of Costa Rica, starting with the North Caribbean, which is Tortuguero. And Tortuguero is a beautiful location in the destination. It is only accessible through riverways. So at one point, you have to get out of the bus or your transportation and take a riverboat to your hotel. As I mentioned before, you can fly and fly into the domestic airport that is there as well if you don't want to drive. And it's really just a beautiful Amazon experience. Arguably, this is my favorite place when it comes to turtle nesting and hatching. One of my most recent visits in Costa Rica, I was able to witness um, an amazing moment of turtle nesting, and the mother turtle actually laid roughly 100 eggs, and it was just a beautiful experience to witness that. In addition, this is where you're going to have a lot of the natural water activities when it comes to maybe kayaking, nature walks and hikes. And of course, the locals are super friendly. So there's a lot of, live music and food and everything like that in this area. So for those who are looking for maybe an off the beaten path in Costa Rica, this would be a great place to experience. Moving on down to the South Caribbean. So this is where some of the notable places in Costa Rica, like Limon, Puerto Viejo, are going to be located. Here, there is such a rich Afro-Caribbean culture that travelers can experience the cooking classes and get a different perspective and taste of Costa Rica, as like I like to say. Our main sloth sanctuary is also going to be on this side. And I would like to mention here that, yes, this is also accessible through domestic flights as well as cars as well. There are amazing beaches here on this side. Again, arguably one of the most beautiful beaches in the destination, but the beaches in Costa Rica overall are just amazing. And then for those who enjoy history, this is a really great place to experience Costa Rica's history, in addition to knowing that Christopher Columbus actually came here on one of his last voyages and said that this is the most beautiful place he's ever seen. So the South Caribbean should definitely be on your Costa Rica bucket list to experience the beauty that is Costa Rica. The Nicoya Peninsula. So we're moving on to the west side of Costa Rica. And this is where I've mentioned before that this is where the blue zones are located. So for those who are interested in learning more about the culture, the way of life, this is going to be a really great place to kind of immerse yourself into Costa Rica. This is also a great place where the beaches are for those who love snorkeling, surfing, scuba diving. This is going to be your haven. The best places to surf in Costa Rica is going to be in the Nicoya Peninsula. In addition, of course, as most places in Costa Rica, you're going to have some amazing wildlife and nature experiences as well. There's so many national wildlife refuges as well as reserves, and it's a really great place to kind of get a mixture of the beach as well as nature all encompassed into one. Some of the main cities in this area are going to be Santa Teresa as well as Tamarindo. And these are some beautiful places to go to. From You can kind of get like a beach city, if you will, for those who want to have that beach life and just walk onto the beach from the road. This is going to be a perfect opportunity for you. So getting into some expanded experiences, um, a lot of times we get the question of like, do you have any indigenous experiences in Costa Rica? And we do. So there are definitely a variety of indigenous experiences in Costa Rica. In addition to engaging with the communities directly, we also have some amazing festivals that you can experience throughout the year. So we have the Borca cultural festival, which you can experience from December or January. But then there's also some amazing indigenous art markets that you can see in San Jose and throughout the destination. You can see how the indigenous influences touch each area of the culture. We also have give back opportunities in the destination. A lot of travelers, we've seen a lot of travelers ask about how can they help the destination get into the destination as well. And what we always like to say is that, of course, we love to see the passion in keeping Costa Rica as beautiful as possible, as sustainable as possible, not just for the wildlife again, but also for the locals as well. So there are amazing opportunities for volunteering as well as um, cleanups, as well as visiting schools and things like that. So there are so many opportunities that travelers can get into and assist Costa Rica in being as green as and as beautiful as possible. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me in the presentation. I hope you learned a lot about Costa Rica, and we look forward to welcoming you into the destination. Over to you, Teresa.
Awesome. Thanks, Sharice. You did a great job. Costa Rica has so much diversity and things, so much. I mean, it's everything to everybody. Whatever you're looking for, Costa Rica has it. So if anyone is interested in going to Costa Rica, my name is Teresa Belcher. Please contact me. I will leave my information below. And until next time, if you can dream it, we will create it. Bye. Bye, Sharice.
Bye, Teresa.